Welcome to South Asia in Maps, Icons and Images. This is your facilitator J. Reddy for this educational channel where I target to bring a deeper understanding of South Asia to the audience in the form of images, pictures and maps. We are continuing our journey and wandering in the fascinating land of Panjnad, Punjab, the land of great rishis and ancient civilization, the land of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the land of gurus and Khalsa. As a part of Punjab Geography, we discussed the rivers. We started with Sutlej River, then the Bias River, we looked at Ravi River, and today we are looking at Chenab River. This is the overall overview of what I am going to talk about on Chenab River. After this presentation, you will get a very good clarity about this great river, which is one of the two major tributaries of Panjnad River, other tributary being Sutlej River. The red indication here shows the current topic, the river Chenab. We'll talk about the Chenab River, we'll talk about its what is Chandra River, what is Bhaga River, what is Baralacha Pass in the Himachal Pradesh region, that is part of British Punjab at the time, and Lahaul district and Spiti districts. Because the river Chenab, Chandra and Bhaga are hemmed by Pir Panjal mountains and greater Himalayas. We'll discuss a little bit about that. Both rivers meet at a town called Tandi, not far from Keylong. That is the headquarters of the Lahaul and Spiti district, which was a part of Kangra district of British Punjab. The river flows through Kishtwar, Jhelum, Doda and Ramban and enters a place called Akhnoor, that is in the Dogra's territory west of the regional headquarters Jhelum. The river continues its journey and bifurcates Gujrat district from Wazirabad and forms the boundary between the Jhelum district, various parts, and gathers its tributary Jhelum River at Athara, Hazari. The river continues via Sialkot at Ahmadpur, Sial, or Sarai Sedu. It gathers one more tributary, river Ravi. The river Chenab continues its journey north of which Sharif and south of Ahmadpur. The river joins other major river Sutlej. The combined streams of Sutlej south and Chenab north will form a short-lived river called Panjnad. The river Panjnad continues its journey and joins the Darya Sindh or Indus River, the mighty Sindhu River, Sindhu Nadi at Kot Maitan, and the river continues its journey. So that is in brief about the river Sutlej we are going to talk about today in detail. I have indicated the river river Chenab in the red line here from its source. This is the source in the greater Himalayan mountains across Pir Panjal to its mouth at Alipur Vuj in Multan Muzaffargarh district or area. Chenab is a mighty river and it is round about 1200 kilometers in length. It is only little shorter than Sutlej River, which is round about 1400 kilometers in length. Sutlej River here, Chenab River here, and both the Chenab River here in the right and Sutlej River in the south, they are tributaries of a 80 kilometer long Panjnad River. Panjnad River. Panch means Pancha, a Sanskrit word, means 5. Nadi is river. Panch Nadi becomes Panjnad in the local Punjabi or Saraiki area. Panjnad River. The river at source, we have Pir Panjal mountains here. We have the greater Himalayas here coming from this area, and at this area greater Himalayas bifurcates. The northern branch continues like greater Himalayas and one offshoot continues like Pir Panjal. This is the Pir Panjal river. So you see Ravi river here, Pir Panjal. On the southern part of Pir Panjal we have Ravi river, northern part of Pir Panjal we have Chandra river here and Bhaga river here. This is Lahaul and Spiti district of modern Himachal Pradesh. The capital of Lahaul and Spiti has important towns. It's across the Himalayan mountains, the arid area. It's not much human inhabited area. We have Keylong and Kalpa here, and Keylong is on the bank of Bhaga river, and we have a Chandra river. Both of them meet at a place called Tandi. Chandra river, Bhaga river meet at a place called Tandi. This is a Baralacha pass. Baralacha pass where? And here in the south you see Rohtang Pass and Kulu, Manali, Larji, those areas and Bias. They are not far away. Suppose if you are coming from Mandi and Larji, then coming to Kulu, then Manali, you have to climb the mighty Rohtang Pass more than 4 kilometers higher, 4,000 meters. Then you enter into Tandi, the place where the Chandra river, Bhaga river joins. The river continues its journey between the Pir Panjal on the south and greater Himalayas on the north, goes through the Killer and all those areas. And after that it enters into Maharaja's Dogra's territory, Jammu and Kashmir, and goes to Kishtwar region. From Kishtwar it goes to Doda, and Doda to Ramban, and finally to Akhnoor. Akhnoor is near Vaishno Devi area, Vaishno Devi Mata temple area. That is, Jammu will be somewhere here and Akhnoor. At Akhnoor in the Dogra's territory, that is the Punjab plains in the Dogra's area, the river joins the Punjab plains. It's called debouching of the river. That means the river leaves the mighty mountains and comes back to the plains at Akhnoor. And the river continues in the Punjab plains. And after that the river, the Sialkot will be here. It will be Gujrat here and Wazirabad, and the river continues through the Jang district, and in the Jang district the river after Jang town at Athara Hazari. There is a place called Athara Hazari. The river gathers the streams of river Jhelum in the left. So we have in red color here Sutlej Chenab river. It has 2 tributaries. You can see one tributary on the right hand side is Jhelum that joins the river at Athara Hazari. And downstream after few kilometers it gathers one more stream on the left hand bank of the river at a place called Ahmadpur, the Ravi river, or Serai Sidhu. So the Jang After that, the river, the combined, after getting the streams of Jhelum River and Ravi River, Chenab continues bordering Multan River and Muzaffargarh, and its final mouth is Panjnad River. This is a Panjnad River, round about 70 to 80 kilometers long. Panjnad River is the mouth of Chenab River. The source of Chenab is Chandra River, Bhaga River, between the Pir Panjal range and mighty greater Himalayas mountains at a place called Baralacha Pass. Its mouth is Alipur or Uch Sharif on Panjnad River. And let's look at this is the Chenab River in red color. What are the districts in the British Punjab, where the British started mapping India and with renal maps and so on, and they started the concept of jilas, that is the districts, and these are the standards so that we can easily remember the land of Punjab, historic Punjab. Here, because essentially this is the gorge in the Chandra River, Bhaga River, Keylong and Tandi and Killar and so on. And once it crosses Akhnoor in the Dogras territory at the northern part of Punjab hills and enters in the Punjab plains, and in the eastern side it has rivers like district Gujrat, then the district Mandi Bahauddin, and part of historic Shahpur district. This is the Sargodha region of the Shahpur district, and this is the Kushab region of the Shahpur district, the Ravi River. So Ravi River separates Gujrat, Chenab River separates Gujrat district, Mandi Bahauddin district and Shahpur district from its southern bank district like Sialkot district, Gujranwala and Wazirabad district, Lahaul and Toba Teksing districts, and the certain parts and Sialkot part of the Jang district from the western part Muzaffargarh and so on, and also certain parts of Multan, Khanewal, Lod, Multan area. And the river continues its journey, and we can look at the river here. So here we are looking about this map is made by the people living in the West Punjab and Pakistan. So the script is essentially a Shamuki script or a modified version of Arabic Persian script, because Islam cannot tolerate the Islamic proselytes using anything native. It's very hostile and allergic. So, and they change their religion, they change their script, they change the history, erased everything. But still the language is so powerful, Islam could not change the language of the proselytes. Still they speak Arabic, they speak Persian, they speak Dari or Pashto, Turkish or and so on, Punjabi. But they change the script. The script, they call it Shamuki script, is essentially Arabic script. So the letters are in Arabic. I cannot understand, but I can relate most of them to you. So this is the Chenab River. This is the Mirpur area, and where the Jhelum River falls. So this is the Chenab River. This is the Jammu. So Akhnoor will be somewhere here, and important part we have to keep in mind is here, and this is the Chandra River, this is the Bhaga River, and there is a Keylong here, and there will be Tandi here, because this is the Kulu Manali Largi Valley and Rohtang Pass. This is the Pir Panjal range here. South we have greater Himalayas here. The river is a Tandi here, Chandra River here, Bhaga River here. Combined stream becomes Chenab River or Chenab River, continues its part between the hemmed on the Panjal still continues the Panjal, and it breaks into the cuts the Panjal here, and you can see Panjal. This will be somewhere Kishtwar here, Kishtwar, Jengilwar, Doda, Ramban, and the river continues and it falls into near Akhnoor here. In Akhnoor, the river falls into Punjab plains and continues its journey, and here this gives a other different approach. We are looking at the same river. I am trying to give the broader outlook rather than giving the length and so on. Here this gives the better view of the river, and I told you that the river, this is the Keylong, the capital of Lahaul and Spiti, very big town here, and this is Manali, this is the Rohtang Pass here, and the river continued at Kilar, and Udaipur enters into Jammu and Kashmir, and it continues. It's in the Pir Panjal mountains here, you can see very clearly. You can see the greater Himalayas here. It cuts the Pir Panjal mountains north of Kishtwar, and the river continues. This is the road built along the river. This is the Jengilwar area, the small town Jengilwar and Kishtwar and Doda, and river continues here. River continues at Ramban, and river continues here and goes to Riyasi and falls into the Punjab plains at Akhnoor. The Vaishno Devi area will be somewhere here near Katra. This is Jammu, this is Samba. At Akhnoor, you can see at Keylong and Tandi here is a mountainous area, and Akhnoor, the river debouches into the Dogras territory, Punjab plain, and we are continuing our journey on the mighty Chenab river, which is around about 1200 kilometers. The river forms the boundary of the erstwhile British Punjab territory between the Sialkot district and Gujrat district in the north, and Gujranwala district and Mandi Bahauddin district, and the river continues, the Chenab river continues its journey. We can see the Chiniat river. Somewhere here there will be a Chenab Nagar, and then we have a Jang here. Near Jang, we got already the Jhelum river coming from the right hand bank. This is Athara Hazari, a place where Chenab river from Chiniot and Bhavana and Jang, it gathers its left hand tributary, the Jhelum. Sometimes you will see when you look at the geography of Chenab river, they mention the joining point or mouth of Jhelum river with the Chenab is Jang, because it's not like very critical, it's only few kilometers, but actual joining point is Athara and Hazari. There is a very big dam called Trimmu Dam here, and sometimes you also see it joins near Trimmu. So the joining point gathers the Jhelum river from its right bank at Jang, Sadar, or Athara and Hazari or Trimmu. All are valid. So just you have to keep in mind, if some other presenter gives you light, there is nothing wrong with it. We are essentially looking the same thing. And it continues. There is Sialkot, the historic Jang district is a very unique district. It crosses the Jhelum river here, it has a part of Chenab river here, it touches the Ravi river here, and it goes into the Thal region or the Sindh Sagar Dome. It's not exactly like demarcated based upon when the Britishers first made the maps. And at Ahmadpur Sial, this is the Ravi river here. You can see Nankana Sahib and Faisalabad and Gujrat Toba Texing. So we are looking at the Ravi River here. We are continue our journey along Chenab. So it gathers its left bank tributary Ravi River at Ahmadpur, Sial. You can see here that's also a place near called Serif Saidu. So it gathers Ravi River at Ahmadpur, Sial, Saidu Serif, or Sarai Saidu. Both are essentially the same. River continues forming the border between the Muzaffargarh district in the west and the Multan region here in the east, and near Multan the river gathers. After Multan the river continues Muzaffargarh and Multan. We are still continuing on our mighty Chenab River, that is around about 1200 kilometers. Here the former princely state of Bawalpur, and here see Kairpur and Hisilpur and Bhavalnagar, so on. This is the Sutlej River. The Sutlej River joins the mighty Chenab River from the north at a place called Alipur. You can see here Alipur, and sometimes people also will mentioning it joins Sutlej River at Uch Sharif. I think I lost that one. Alipur. Uch Sharif. I wanted to show Uch Sharif. That is north of former Nawab's territory. Bahawalpur Nawab's, a princely state territory. Ahmadpur north, this is the Bawalpur, and Uch Sharif or Alipur. That is the, you see the Sutlej River, you see the Chenab River, Alipur, Uch Sharif, and historically, hundreds of years back, it was at Uch Sharif, the joining point or merging point, and a lot of Islamic monuments were also there. The popular Punjabi poet and writer Bulle Shah was actually born in Uch Sharif, and he later lived much of his life and passed away at Kasur near Lahaul. So that's what we have to remember. Now the merging point has changed a little bit, but essentially still is Uch Sharif and Alipur, and the river continues. Now it's called Panjnadi or Panjnad, which is a mixture of all the 5 rivers of Punjab, and it continues at it joins Panjnad, which is a tributary of Sindhu River, or Indus River, joins it at a place called Mithankot. Again, it was historically used to merge at Mithan, now a little bit upstream here. So that is in brief about our Chenab rivers. So what did we discuss today about Chenab River? We discussed about the mighty Chenab River indicated in red here. Chenab River is 1811, around about 1200 kilometers. It is a combined stream of Chandra River and Bhaga River near Baralacha Pass in the Lahaul and Spiti district of current Himachal Pradesh, that is essentially a part of truncated Purbi Punjab or East Punjab after 1947 independence partition. That the river flows in a gorge, that means it is hemmed on the south side by mighty Pir Panjal mountains, here mighty Pir Panjal mountains, and northern Greater Himalayas. Greater Himalayas bifurcates into southern part. Pir Panjal is an offshoot of Greater Himalayas. Greater Himalayas continues its journey, and you see the Greater Himalayas continues and Pir Panjal continues. Then you will get a Kashmir Valley upstream, that is Anantnag and Srinagar and Baramulla, Bandipur and Kupwara and so on. That is further downstream. So at Tandi, the joining point of Chandra, Bhaga River, and we have the Udaipur and Kilar and all those regions, it enters into Maharaja Hari Singh's territory or Dogra's territory of former princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. It goes to Kishtwar, then turns south to Jengilwar and moves west and Doda, further west and Ramban, and finally descends into the Dogra's territory, northern Punjab plains, at a place called Akhnoor. that is like 40 or 50 kilometers west of a prominent town, Jhelum, in that area. The river forms the boundary between Gujrat and Sialkot, and Gujrat and Gujranwala, and Mandi Bahauddin and Gujranwala, Wazirabad here, and also Layalpur, Faisalabad in the south, in the Rechnado, to historical Shahpur district or Shargoda district now, eastern part. And the mighty Chenab gathers its right bank major tributary, Jhelum River, at a place called Athara Hazari, that is few kilometers south of a major town Jang, or 2 or 3 kilometers north of historical dam Trimmu. And the river continues few kilometers and it gathers its left-hand tributary, river Ravi, at Ahmadpur, Sial, also called Sarai Sedu. The river continues bordering Multan district in the east and Muzaffargarh district in the west. The Multan and Lodran and Khanewal, all those regions. Its end point, the end point of 1200 kilometer long Chenab River is Panjnad. It joins Panjnad or Panjnad, Panjnad at Alipur and Uch. Panj River continues, Panjnad River continues to Mithankot, joins Darya Sindhu or mighty Sindhu River. So that is in general about the Chenab River we talked about today as a part of geography of Punjab or historical Punjab, that is Paschim Punjab west of Radcliffe line or Ravi line, and East Punjab or Purbi Punjab east of Radcliffe line or east of Ravi River. And we will continue our journey, our wanderings in the fascinating land of Gurus and the land of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, our Punjab, in the coming presentations. And this is your facilitator for the education channel, South Asia in Map. South Asia in Maps targets, aims to bring the geographical, cultural, and historical knowledge south of Karakoram Mountains, north of Kanyakumari, and western side of Kamrup and eastern side of Kalat in Baluchistan Plateau or in Kutch area, to our audience throughout the world in the form of icons, images, pictures. All my presentations will have some icon, image or picture. Very rarely you may not have it, but almost certain it will be. That's way we will try to communicate with you and make you aware and enjoy the fascinating land of South Asia, Mother Bharat, Bharat Mata, and see you later in the future presentations. As usual, please provide your comments and subscribe this channel and encourage and spread the news to the interesting audience. Thank you very much and see you later. Future presentations.